I'm Hazel, it's Saturday again, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I've been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week, we still did not get a pre-patch date. We did get a release candidate pre-patch build on the PTR, and we got another blog post from Blizzard saying it's gonna be soon, but we still don't have a date. At this point, it's shaping up to be a very short pre-patch because we're effectively 4 weeks. We're like 1 month away from Shadowlands launch at this point. So it's gonna be soon. It's just a question of when and how much notice we end up getting. In Shadowlands news this week, we got official confirmation that there will be no bonus rolls in Shadowlands. This kind of fits the theme of having less loot overall with a better chance that when you do get something, it's something that you can wear and not something that you maybe could have worn if only it had Titan Forged and Corrupted and proc to socket. Sockets will still be a thing in Shadowlands, but they're on less slots, and you can also purchase items to add them to your gear as well. So it's less of a make or break thing for a piece of gear because you could eventually do it anyways. But anyways, no bonus rolls. I am personally on board with this just because my feelings of bonus rolls, my memories of them are not great feeling. You know, it's like spending a bunch of gold for a bonus roll that you got a little bit of gold from, and then the time that you got gear, it wasn't good enough for you, and then you couldn't even give it to your friends that could have used it because it's bonus roll gear. They see it in the chat log and they go, wow, that might be, oh wait, never mind, it's a bonus roll. I don't have great feelings about them. In the blue post, Blizzard did say that the weekly vault is kind of intended to add some of that same value. I would assume that they mean that same kind of gear targeting value, because of course from the weekly vault we'll be able to kind of choose from multiple choices as opposed to choosing which boss to bonus roll on. I'm not too worried about this. I think it's going to turn out fine, although I am curious. I do see a potential future. There's a version of the future where in reducing the overall amounts of loot to kind of just let loot be loot, maybe there's a possibility they turn it down a little too much. You know, this is Blizzard. They have sometimes been known to do things a little too much and then have to pull it back later. It's possible that they turn the loot faucets down so much to the point that you get stuck not being able to get a decent piece of gear in a given socket, or, you know, I can see a world where they need to pull back from this a little bit, but we'll have to play it and find out. For other news, we got official confirmation of Blizzconline. All one word, that is the official title, and I'm very glad that somebody both thought of that and then pitched it as the official name, and then somebody greenlit that, so that's what it's officially called, is Blizzconline, all one word. That's fantastic, and I'm glad it happened. It's been officially confirmed for February the 19th and 20th of 2021, so early next year, and this is going to be a fully virtual BlizzCon. They are now taking submissions for cosplay contests and art contests and video contests, all that good stuff. So it's going to be kind of a digital only thing. I really want to be excited about this, and we'll probably get more details as the date gets closer and like after we're through Shadowlands, but I'm having a hard time imagining it coming close to capturing the same kind of feeling that an actual BlizzCon does. The name is fantastic though. In Live WoW this week, Brewfest is officially back. There is nothing new this year, so if you were caught up as of last year, then you are still caught up. But if you didn't catch up last year, they did add a whole bunch of things in 2019, so you can go and catch up. You can get your Garland of Grain. That is a transmoggable item during Brewfest that puts a pretzel on your head. Excellent. There is a Brewfest-specific Hearthstone with the Reveler's Hearthstone. There's the Chowdown trophy toy for doing the sausage-eating minigame. I did a video last year that is still current, so I'm not going to make a new one, but definitely go check out Brewfest if there's anything from last year or before that you are missing. And in my life this week, I have been playing a lot of WoW and collecting things that I don't need, but I can't seem to stop or help myself. I finally got rolling with all the things. It's an add-on that I've kind of installed and then deleted and then installed and then deleted, but I finally configured it in such a way and disabled enough of it that I'm now using it, and I'll never be okay again. So I've been playing a lot of WoW and otherwise just working on videos because Shadowlands is coming soon and I have all kinds of plans. Gonna do some dungeon boss guides, gonna do some raid boss guides. I got some other ideas if I can get those first 2 categories done. And all of this is pretty good for me productivity-wise, but it does make me very boring to talk to. I have no interesting things to say and it's starting to make streaming kind of difficult. And questions for this week, K01DSV asks, how do heirloom upgrades work with the level squish? Paraphrasing a little bit here. So they finally put in what looks like a finished version of heirloom upgrades on beta. So we now know that there are heirloom upgrades still. There are still 4 levels of them. They will upgrade your heirlooms to scale to 35, 40, 45, and 50 respectively. So basically same gold cost as previously, works much the same. It's just that the levels got scaled down. If somebody doesn't currently have their heirlooms fully upgraded all 4 levels, I don't know that I would recommend that they do it right now. Especially given that the experience bonus is not going to be on them after pre-patch, although I do still think it's worth having and wearing them. The new heirloom bonuses are kind of fun. I actually don't mind them, especially the 40% primary stat buff that you get for a couple of minutes after leveling. Early on, I was testing this on beta, early on when you're getting through the early levels pretty often, you can get pretty good uptime on that buff, and it makes you just flatten everything in front of you. It's excellent. But what I would do is I would, after the pre-patch, wear the heirlooms that you've got, level with them, and if you reach a point where the heirloom is not going to continue scaling, and you would like it to, at that point you can kind of judge if it's worth it or not. It kind of depends on how your scaled heirloom is going to compare to other gear that's available to you, because it's kind of nice not having to replace gear in that slot. Anyways, yeah, short answer, there are still heirloom upgrade levels, and they're still in the vendors, works exactly the same, but scales to 35, 40, 45, and then 50 at the 4th and fully upgraded level. And Bill asks, it seems that Aki, the pet battler in Pandaria, is missing because of the vision stuff happening, so does the time jump that is coming in Shadowlands concerning Pandaria bring back Aki? Thank you. So 2 things to tackle here. First of all, Aki is actually in the game still. She is in the Seat of Knowledge in Pandaria in the Under Assault version. So right here on the map, way up high, you can go into this room, and on the far right-hand side, Aki is chilling over here, and you can pet battle her just like this. Alternatively, if you would prefer to fight her in her old spot, you can go out to the balcony of the Seat of Knowledge, and then use Zadormi to turn the zone back to its old version, and then Aki will be right where she was. So she's fine. The second thing that I would like to address is that the time skip that you're mentioning is pure speculation at this point. We don't yet know if there's going to be any kind of a time jump. It's certainly a possibility for the expansion after Shadowlands, but this is a very big if that we're not going to get any answers to for like at least a couple of years. So definitely not a guaranteed thing that's happening. And Jack Memphis asks, do you think that the WoW token will increase in value early in Shadowlands? Should I buy it now if I want to add a small boost to my gold wallet, or wait for Shadowlands to hit? So, full disclaimer, I am awful at predicting this kind of thing. I am not even a little bit of an economist, so don't take my advice, but if you are going to disregard the advice I just gave you and then take my advice, I figured my best bet at figuring this out was to pull up some historical data to see what the WoW token price has done with previous expansion launches. So here is how the WoW token price behaved kind of through Legion launch, throughout Legion, and then when BFA came out. You've got the token price rising pretty steadily right to the end of Legion, and then it takes a pretty big nosedive with the expansion launch. This expansion has played out a bit differently. I am guessing that it's at least partially because of the news of the Bruiser leaving its vendor that the token price has been kept down a little bit, as people have been not only saving their gold for the in-game thing, but also buying tokens to help them along towards that goal. So we didn't get quite the spike at the end of BFA that we saw at the end of Legion. However, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't drop the same way it did. So if you are going to buy a token in the next couple of months, I would assume, and I could be wrong, that now is a better time to do it than later. If you wait until Shadowlands, then your better bet is probably going to be to wait until later in Shadowlands. But I have no idea, so don't listen to me. And that has been my week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions that you would like me to answer in a news video, please leave them in the comments of the most recent one and include the word question to help me find it. Stop by a live stream sometime if you have the time and that sounds like something that you would enjoy, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.